Also, if you look right above your head, you can see that animal's body type. That's gonna help you identify some of the animals out here.
Oh, dude.
And our first stop today is gonna be the leader eatery
Scampi.
forest. Alright, so we usually have our first animal coming on the right hand side. Oh, there she is! You can see the okapi. And this animal's gonna be known as the ghosts of the forest because they are extremely hard to see. They're also well known for being very shy animals, but it seems that she's being very outgoing today, so we love that. Also, if you take a look laying down right next to the bamboo trees up to the right, there's a little animal with those yellow hairs on their back. That is a yellow-backed tiger. I've been in this location for 2 years. I've seen this animal 15 times in my life. I count them. So take a picture at it. Really hard to see. Their name comes from the fact that diker means divers. It means that they dive really good into the bushes. Right up to the left-hand side, there's a saddle-billed stork. There's a tiny black and white bird.
Shoot.
Saddle-billed storks are the largest kind of stork in Africa. Fully extending their legs, they can stand up to 5 feet tall at the shoulder.
Whoa, rhino.
Right on the left-hand side, there's gonna be one of the black rhinoceros coming up.
It's beautiful.
So unreal.
Yeah, trying to catch up with him. I think he's going to lay down. There he goes. He's hiding. Oh, the black rhinos are a very rare and super solitary species. Normally they turn very territorial against different animals, so they just like to isolate themselves most of the day. He's having a great time, by the way. I'm gonna wait for just a second to see if he decides to climb up that hill. I don't think so. I think he's just hiding, but that's fine. Let's see if we can find something else. All the way up to the right hand side, staring at us, there's that greater kudu. This is another kind of forest antelope. Those are some of the females. You can tell that because they don't have any horns. And also staring at us with that orange color, that is a bongo. There's a couple of them around here. The bongos are very good at hiding.
Why are they so chill?
Both males and females have those twisted horns, and they will use them to untangle the trees while they walk. Their orange color and those white stripes along their coats, that helps them to blend really good around the forest. Now let's see if we can find something else over here. I think those were most of the animals so far around the forest. So we're just heading out. We're gonna make our way up through the Safi River. This is home of some aquatic animals, so we're just gonna look up to the water. Let's look up for any bubbles or even dark shapes over here. We're gonna start out on the right hand side with the beanbag pelicans. Those birds got their name because a pink coloration shows up on the back of their feathers only during their mating season, which is actually very cute. But also, let's keep an eye on the water. If you take a look up to your left, you might see a Nile hippopotamus.
Whoa.
There she goes.
Whoa. My bad. Is it about?
There's gonna be quite a few around here. A group of hippos is known as a bloat of hippopotamus. Kinda funny. You're gonna see something really cool.
It's pooping.
This is a poop shower.
Pooping. That is so swag.
I never thought I'd see it.
Hippos poop like that. They like to mark their territory.
That's gross.
They recognize each member of their group
Should've
by
swam in it.
smelling up their poop. Kinda cool. I love that. This is the best day of my life.
Whoa.
This is life changing.
Oh.
Those big friends can also weigh up to 5,000 pounds of absolutely pure muscle. There's a really fun fact about them. Because of how heavy they are, hippos are not able to swim. So you look at them walking under the water. It's really cool. Now, right on the left, there's also this group of Nile crocodiles.
Oh yeah.
If you're wondering
mouth is
if they're
open.
real, throw your phone. You'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
The crocodiles, just like the hippopotamus, they're extremely territorial animals. They're able to eat half of their body weight in a single fitting and almost half of their length. We can tell that the crocodiles could eat up a 10 feet prey. It is amazing. Crocodiles will eat a lot of food, but the funny thing is that they barely eat about 55 full meals a year. We can also tell that they eat once every week, which is super impressive for a reptile of that size. Also, I think you'll notice that the ecosystem it is switching up. We're getting close to the savannah. And let's see, we're gonna try to find some of the giraffes in just a moment, but right up on the right hand side, just in the meantime, this is a baobab tree.
Whoa.
This is gonna be known as the tree of life or the upside down tree. That is, of course, because it looks like it's upside down. But in reality, those trees are leafless for up to 9 months. That's why they look like that. So they will survive by holding tons of gallons of water inside of that big trunk during the dry season. So animals like the African elephants can use their tusks to stop the baobab. They open some holes and get the water out of the tree. So you can think about those as giant juice box for some animals, let's say. But we're gonna head on down the savannah. I already see a few of the giraffes. Also, there's a few of the elands around here. We're gonna try to get super close to them in just a moment. But let's see, we're gonna start out actually on the left. Right past this fence coming up, we're looking for puppies, the African painted dogs. And it says that they're all laying down under the rock. Look how cute is that? Those little animals are also known as the wild dogs, and a group of them is known as a pack. I think there's a better look at them coming around this way. There we go. So the painted dogs are one of the most successful hunters on the whole savannah. Even though they're super tiny, they tend to hunt in groups, and that way they have a full 86% success on that hunting. That is even more than lions itself, because the lions only have a 30% success.
That's crazy.
All the way up to the left, I think there's also a group of sable antelopes. This animal is the official symbol of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're known for being fighters and very brave animals. Besides backing up from their predators, they tend to face them. That's also because they're really strong animals, especially the males. And, oh my god. I love this. Alright. You're gonna love this. We're gonna stop right next to this male eland coming on the left hand side. This is a male. This is very normal behavior. Male elands are one of my favorite animals. During the mating season, they use their horns to grab leaves and flowers from the floor and put it on top of their heads just like a flower crown, trying to seem more attractive for the females. But it seems that he decided to grab a branch. He got a little shy, so we're just gonna keep moving up. The girl's gonna be coming up in just 1 second, all the way up to the right. The elands are also the biggest kind of antelope in Africa. They can grow up to 2,000 pounds about, and those two are still not fully grown. Also up to the right hand side, there's this group of wildebeest. There's gonna be quite a few animals over here, so we're just gonna try to catch up with all of them. We're gonna start out with these giraffes all the way up to the left. A group of giraffes that is known as a tower of giraffes. They're really funny and super active animals throughout the whole day. The giraffes sleep for about 30 minutes of the day and that's it. And they can also sleep standing up, so it's super weird to see them laying down. You may notice on the right, they'll do it every once in a while, so we're gonna stop for them just right up here. And this giraffe is gonna be hanging out with that group of zebras. Group of zebras is known as a dazzle. You can also see the two babies. We had the two baby zebras born about 8 months ago. They were both born inside of the reserve. They're still super tiny. Also, you can see that group of wildebeest around. Group of wildebeest that is known as a herd, or also a confusion of wildebeest. And up to the left, we'll have another look at the giraffes. Now there's also a good example on how the giraffes get their food. Normally they use their prehensile long tongue to grab the leaves. Prehensile means finger-like, so they'll use their tongue as a finger, just squeezing the leaves and then pulling down. Also, if you are an adult, you can think about a distance from your elbow to the point of your fingers on your hand. That is about a giraffe's tongue. Let's say a full 18 inches. Really impressive.
Whoa, that's pretty long.
But also, I think I don't see much more around here. So we're just gonna move up. We're gonna head into elephant territory.
Elephants.
And those are gonna be some of the little ones.
Oh wow. Look, he's playing with the stick. Eating stick.
He's trying to eat it. Stuck in his mouth.
African elephants are the largest land animal in the earth, of course, but they're also the biggest of the three kinds of elephants. They can grow up from 14 to 18,000 pounds. Take a look up to your left really quick, by the way. There's gonna be a little monkey crossing by. That was a mandrill. The mandrills are the largest kind of monkey. Their families are conformed of a dominant male and mostly females around the group. We just found the male. The females tend to be a lot more skinny, also super tiny. You also already know the animal from the movie The Lion King. That was a Rafiki. They're kinda shy, so we got super lucky to find him. But by the way, we're gonna be going back to the elephants in just a moment. This is our first elephant area, and we actually do have a second one. So let's see if we can find the rest of the family.
Oh shoot.
Alright. So another good sign of elephants will be the big rocks we're about to go under. This is called the rock clipping. On to the right hand side, you can look for scratching marks along the rock. And those are tusk marks. Elephants will use their tusks to scrape, and that way they can eat the rock clay. Well, the minerals of the rock will work as a multivitamin for them, so they'll eat it pretty much based on their nutrition. I think I see one more coming along the left hand side.
Oh shoot.
She's gonna be hiding right up here. Then there's one over here. There might be a few more, so let's see. Elephants are truly one of my favorite animals around the reserve, just because of how smart they are. They rely on their excellent memory to travel throughout the whole savannah during the dry season. They can also remember their whole way back home. A group of elephants can be known as a herd or also a memory. And all the way up to the right, there's another big animal with those amazing horns. This is the Ankole cattle. And this animal is also known as the Watusi cattle. They are a sign of wealth in Africa. Their amazing horns are super light for them, and they can work as a cooling system. During the dry season, the Ankole cattle will pump blood around their horns, and that helps it to cool off about 12 degrees. Up to the left hand side, this is a group of flamingos, and a group of flamingos is known as a flamboyance. Makes sense. Those are some greater flamingos. This is one of the tallest of the flamingo species, also one of the lightest of the pink colorations. That's why they look kind of white. The flamingos are actually born being gray. They get to that color during the first 2 years of their life. And they will go back to that gray color once they get a little older. We haven't had new babies in quite a bit, so if you were able to see some of the gray ones, I think those were probably some of the oldest ones. Also, we're all good to say goodbye to them. We're heading out of the West Savannah. And we're gonna make our way around the Savannah East. Let's see, I see one of the ostrich already. It's gonna be staring at the road. Let's see if we can catch up with her. We have about 3 female ostrich around the reserve. You're gonna see that they're females because of the great coloration of their feathers. Oh, on the right there's one of the white rhinos also walking around. He's gonna be walking to the other side, so we're just gonna try to follow him. Alright, so let's just start out over here. On the left hand side, pay attention to the top of this hill also. Usually some cheetahs will walk around here. You can see the cheetahs laying down in the middle.
Oh my god.
There's about 5 cheetahs around the reserve. They're all females, also all sisters. They love to hang out together.
Not like normal cats.
You can also see the ostrich to the left. She's testing the cheetahs because she knows that they can catch her.
Oh my gosh. Can you fly?
Ostrich are the largest of the flightless birds, but they can run really fast, around 35 miles per hour. They use their wings expanding them. That is basically how they maintain their balance. And up to the left, there's a couple more cheetahs just sitting down up to that right corner. Also, there's one of
Is that
the
a
rhinos
rib cage?
crossing the road right in front.
I think so. Whoa! Holy frick!
Whoa!
Right. We're gonna wait for her because she's a little too close to the road. Whenever you're ready, kitty.
Oh my! Dude, that's a huge frick.
There she goes.
That's a massive.
But the white rhinos are my favorite animal around the reserve.
Massive animal.
Very opposite from the black rhinos. The white rhinos are very friendly. They're social because they're used to stay around different animals and also other rhinos. Normally they move along in a big group that is called a crash. There's gonna be a few more coming right up front.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Whoa! Look at that one up
We're gonna
ahead.
try to find some of the babies in just a moment, but also take a look up to your left and you'll see the king of this place.
Whoa! Whoa!
We're moving along the Pride Rock, home of the lions.
Dude, he's so majestic.
Alright, so we got super lucky to find him awake. He was napping not too long ago.
You see the female?
But it is very normal. Lions would naturally sleep around 16 or 19 hours of the day.
Damn. 16.
They're not lazy animals, kind of. But they're just trying to save their energy for the night and for their hunting. It's gonna be especially for the female lions because the girls are the ones in charge of all of the hunting around the group. And the males will eat first, which is not very fair, but we're not gonna get into that right now. We're gonna keep moving on. Right up to the left hand side. Alright, this is the habitat of the warhawks. They have a really good hiding spot around here. I'm gonna tell you where it is in just a moment. But right on the right, we're gonna take another look at the rhinos, also the ostrich. There's one of the baby white rhinos all the way up to the back. Very proudly, we can say that we have 3 baby white rhinos around the reserve, all in proud of their conservation efforts.
Ostrich.
And let's see if we can find the warhawks. Just taking a look up to your left, and there we go. They're gonna be laying down all together.
Where?
Where?
There's about 3 of them just straight up to the left. Those little ones
Oh.
are commonly known as a
You see
Pumbaa.
him?
But funny enough, Pumbaa is not a very accurate word for the warhawks because Pumbaa means foolish in Swahili, and the warhawks are actually very smart. Very fortunately for us, their species is not in danger at all, and that is completely up to them, just because of how good they adapt to their environment. Listen, towards the left, we're heading into the last section of their reserve, Magadi Glen. Home of the Nigerian dwarf goats, one of the cutest animals around.
Oh.
It's one of them over here, but she has a couple more friends around here. There we go. So the goats are very social and also super playful animals.
Is it on top of the building?
They're knocking up their heads. On top of that, they're one of the most domesticatable animals in the world just because of how friendly they are. They all just grow up to a tiny size, about 2.5 feet max. There's a chance there's some full-grown adults around this group. They're not fighting, they just do that for fun, just in case. Also, right up to this point, I always like to recommend people that if you want to have an up-close view with some of the goats today and actually pet them, you can do that here at the park, and you don't have to pay anything for that experience. So just go over to Rafiki's Planet Watch, that is also here in Africa, and Rafiki's is just a 5-minute train ride. The train's gonna drop you off on a conservation station. There's an outdoor petting zoo over there, so you can pet the goats. There's pigs, there's small donkeys, cattle, sheep. They're all super friendly animals. Just keep in mind that they close at 4:30 today, you still have plenty of time. But once again, that is Rafiki's Planet Watch, also here in Africa. And also don't forget to check out at the walking trails around the park. Here in Africa, you also have the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. It goes around 4:45. Most of the attractions involving animals around the park close a little earlier, just before the sunset comes up. And let's see, since we're all good to go. So as we are close to the end, here in Harambe we do not like to say goodbye. It is far too sad and far too final, so instead we say Kwaherini, and that means to go well. So Kwaherini friends, go well, go wild, and go enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Alright, if you're sitting on the right, watch shows and our feet to like, stores are opening, and watch your 7